So The Fall Guy is an action comedy mystery movie loosely based on the 1980s TV series, and it is actually pretty brilliant. Now, I wasn't convinced in the beginning, as I was already formulating my review while I was watching this film, and I was going to be calling it stupidly entertaining. But then as the movie was progressing, it was just hooking me in more and more, and by the end of it, it was actually pretty spectacular. I mean, that final act, you think you know what's going to happen, and I just feel like all of the twists and turns that take place and all of the brilliant, spectacular action sequences that take place are just honestly so good. I mean, it's got excellent performances by all of the cast. I feel like they really do put their best foot forwards, and of course, as you would hope, all of the action sequences look so wicked. And they do something really clever during the credit sequence. I won't spoil it, but I do think it's a bit of a stroke of genius. And then, like I said, there is a mystery going on at the same time. So all of the mystery twists and turns and all of the plot deepening that takes place as the movie is progressing is just done so well. And originally, it was actually going to star Dwayne Johnson and be directed by McG. And I mean, both of those players you can actually see would work really well for what this movie is all about. But actually, I do think David Leitch did a really good job. He, of course, most recently did Bullet Train with his production company 87th North. And I'm sure you'll remember that that movie had a lot of wicked action sequences. And I'm glad to say that they are plentiful over here too. And this movie definitely has got a lot of genres in there. Like I said, it's got action, comedy, mystery, and romance as well. And typically, when films try to blend all of these genres together, sometimes it can be an absolute car crash and an absolute mess. But actually, The Fall Guy blends it together really, really well. And I just have to say, Ryan Gosling, honestly, was so good. He's pretty much in every single scene of this movie, and he just owns every single one that he is in. He is so funny, he's so on point. He has got a little bit of Ken attitude in here, which I think actually works quite well. And his character of Colt, I think is actually really endearing, really relatable. You can really see that this guy is just trying so hard to have a nice life, but constantly things are just thwarting his potential to be able to do this. So I think he's a really good character. And also, this movie really does celebrate stunt performers in the best way possible. For example, referencing the fact that they should have their own award category, the fact that they constantly put their body through a lot of life and death situations, and of course all of the pain that takes place, and the amount of money that is of course involved with action sequences, and just how deadly this profession can be. I feel like it explores all of that stuff really well. And this film also has a number of one takes where a number of different characters are working together, and it's just one panning camera going through everything. And they do that right in the beginning, and Ryan Gosling, once again, just absolutely owns it. So I feel like he was just so good, and just a brilliant lead character. We've then, of course, got Emily Blunt playing Judy, and I think this character is really cool too, as she starts off this film as a camera operator, and then progresses to being a first-time director. So I feel like she is quite inspiring in terms of how you can progress the career ladder. And of course, because this is pretty much her directorial debut, she has got a little bit of imposter syndrome, which I feel like people can relate to as well, and she is just trying to keep her head above water. And of course, Ryan Gosling's Colt character was the love of her life, and then when he is suddenly returning back on the picture unexpectedly to her, and is during the film that she is now being the director of, I feel like all of that stuff is coming together quite nicely. Hannah Waddingham's Gale character, my goodness, what an absolutely extraordinary performance. She was just so good. She is a true scene stealer, and I feel like she really does show the ruthless and cutthroat side of Hollywood, and also a bit of a master manipulator in terms of using her words to just get people to do what she wants them to do. So controlling, such a twisted character, and you just know that people like this do actually exist. So I have to say, Hannah Waddingham just absolutely owned it. We've also got Aaron Taylor-Johnson, who is playing a bit of an arrogant actor called Tom Ryder, and you can really see that he really does believe his own hype, and the risks of people that are really famous, what this can do to their head, and just how dark certain characters can become. We've also got Winston Duke over here playing Colt's best friend, Dan, and he's also a stunt coordinator, and we of course know him as M'Baku from the 2 Black Panther movies, and he of course was also in Us, and he is bringing all of those aspects from all of those different past characters into this performance, and he does a really good job of it. We've also got Teresa Palmer, who plays a little bit of a different character to what you have seen her before as, and she is playing Tom's girlfriend. And we've also got Stephanie Hughes. She only really has 1 or 2 big scenes, but she does own the ones that she is in. So like I said, by the end of it, I was actually really impressed with what they were able to achieve with The Fall Guy, and I really do feel like action fans are going to eat this movie up alive, as The Beekeeper did really, really well, and I honestly think that The Fall Guy just takes it that one step further, and it's just such a super fun popcorn movie, and everybody just does such a good job, Ryan Gosling in particular, just leads this movie with absolute perfection. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give it a mega 7.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear from you. What did you think of The Fall Guy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.